The NHL has returned, and it's time to get back to work. This is the Hockey Show. That is not the intro. I was not expecting that. That's great.
Welcome to the Hockey Show.
Hello.
Hi, Roy.
Hi, how you doing? David Drork of the Hockey News. Rose is in the shipping container. Ethan is in the video room. My name is Roy Bellamy. You can check out the Hockey Show on YouTube at the Hockey Show DLS, on TikTok at the Hockey Show 7, and on X, Instagram, and Threads at Hockey Show DLS. The big story this week is Sidney Crosby is going to miss a month. Minimum.
Congratulations, Roy.
I don't wish injury on anybody. This is massive for the Pittsburgh Penguins. He got checked by Radko Gudas against the Czechs during the quarters. It was during the quarters, correct?
Yeah, because he missed the semifinal and then he missed the last two games.
Yeah, so it looked like a knee injury. His lower body is what the Penguins are saying. They have 24 games left. 25 games left.
25.
And they ended up winning a game last night, and I should know because I had a bet on them to lose, and that really was disappointing. But the Penguins are...
Oh, did you not hit your 10-leg parlay?
Hey, listen, you got to do something with these $1 bonus bets, all right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so, but anyway...
Turn your dollar into $1.50. Woohoo!
All right, so for the next month, the Penguins are going to be without their captain. What are we doing here? What's going to happen here? Because they are holding on tight to second place in the division, and to a wild card spot. It's at before last night. It was a point difference.
Still
a point difference. What's going to happen here?
What's going to happen? Pittsburgh's going to have to dig deep. They're going to have to rely on their new goaltending star, Spencer Skinner. Stuart Skinner. Spencer Skinner. What am I doing?
Wow, Spencer,
Dave, $5.
No, for some reason I've been thinking about Spencer Knight all morning.
Yeah, you know why? Because last night during the Star Spangled Banner, during the Maple Leafs Panthers game, for the first time, there was no night said during the night portion of the Star Spangled Banner.
We all just looked at each other like, did that really just not happen?
Can't believe that happened. Yeah. I can't believe that happened. But anyway, as you were saying.
But yeah, no, I mean, obviously Stuart Skinner has been lights out for the Penguins. They've got other players that have been playing well for them. Evgeny Malkin obviously having a solid year for the Pens. But it's tough, right? Because they've got 72 points. 71 points is Boston in the final wildcard spot. And then there's a lot of teams that are making a charge right now. Washington obviously trying to push up. Columbus and Buffalo could be playoff teams this year, Roy. Like, what the hell's happening to the world right now?
I know.
Now, the Pens are so lucky they're in the Metro division, guys. Like, they are just the luckiest team in the world that they're in the Metro, because the Metro, if the Panthers were in the Metro, they would be in the playoffs, basically, because of what's going on around there. The Pens are just, I don't know how they're going to survive without Crosby. Like, he's basically been lugging them into the playoff picture this year. But, no, that was very unfortunate, and I was very surprised that the reception was so good for the Olympics, even despite... Hold on. Let me rephrase that. Okay. What I'm meant to say is a lot of people during the Olympics were saying, oh my God, NHL players are never going to go back to the Olympics again because Sidney Crosby is hurt. But I don't think I've seen a lot of reaction like that since coming out of the NHL. I think this was a major success, despite the fact that Sidney Crosby got injured.
I really don't think the injury front in this situation was as bad as Four Nations last year.
No. Well... comparable, I guess, because there are several guys that are a little banged up right now coming back from the Olympics. But, kind of to Ethan's point, I don't think anybody cares. Like, it was just so awesome, the best on best. These guys knew what they were getting themselves into. So, it is what it is. You got to deal with it. And I think that's better than not having it at all. But just interestingly, Ethan, as you talked about how Pittsburgh is so grateful to be in the Metro. If they were in the Pacific Division, they'd be in first place.
Yep. The Western Conference outside of Colorado was bad.
Colorado, Minnesota, and
Dallas.
Let's be clear. Those teams are awesome.
The Central Division is a gauntlet. The Pacific Division is a wild card division right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Panthers would be in a playoff spot in the Western Conference. Yes, they would be in the final wild card spot.
Are we expecting another Eastern Conference team to win the Stanley Cup this season?
Not necessarily.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, I think it's not going to be a gauntlet in the West. So it's going to be a lot of weary teams out of the East.
I do agree with you, Roy, that there's going to be a bit of a gauntlet, especially in that Central Division, right? But I think whoever comes out of that will be so battle-tested that they should be the favorite no matter what. First of all, they're the three best teams in the league. basically by points percentage, except for Carolina and Tampa. Like they're 3 of the 5 best teams in the league.
Yeah.
And I think once you get through that gauntlet, like we've seen with the Panthers the last few years, going through Tampa and Toronto and Boston and New York, like the most battle-tested team is the one that I think should be the favorite going into the Stanley Cup final. And, you see with Carolina, when they have these cakewalks through the Metro, they end up, going through the team in the Atlantic and they get swept. Like, I think the West should be the favorite. I think the Stanley Cup champion's coming out of the West this year, if it's not the Florida Panthers.
Just got to get out of the division, the 2 divisional rounds, and get into the conference final, and there you go.
The playoffs this year, I mean, it's still, you still got 25 games left. But just looking right now, like if the playoffs started today, and all the teams that are in that have not been in a while, and vice versa, like Seattle, Utah, Anaheim, Buffalo, Islanders, like those would all be playoff teams right now. Montreal, who hasn't, they squeaked in last year. Detroit, who hasn't been in the playoffs for 7 or 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be fun. It's going to be non-traditional, which is what we like when we just see some, we might actually not see the Oilers and the Kings, which I think based off last night would be good for.
Yeah, that'd be good for everybody, wouldn't it?
Oh, God.
Yeah,
8-1 last night.
Can we please get the Oilers and Ducks? I don't know if you guys watched that Oilers-Ducks game or if you
that
saw
was
the
great.
highlights the other night. Those 2 teams, I love watching those 2 teams. They're such high-event teams, and I love watching the Ducks. Please give me the Ducks and the Oilers in the playoffs this year.
Playoffs started today. You'd have it.
Yeah. Yesterday we saw a lot of apologies or attempts at justification for laughing or reasoning following that stupid joke that the president made. I refuse. I can't believe I said that. Oh, my goodness, the president. Anyway, the joke that Trump said following the gold medal win for the United States. I'm on the side of the women. The men screwed up, in my opinion. And now Brady Tkachuk is looking like a complete fool as the White House kind of retweeted a AI video saying that Brady Tkachuk said some things like maple syrup drinking.
Negative things about the Canadians.
Negative things about Canadians.
Where he lives, and he's the captain of the Canadian
Yeah.
team of the Canadian capital.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you are a pawn in a political game and you reap what you sow, whatever. I'm on the side of women. But another complete embarrassment, reporters. Because they ask some stupid questions, and we'll get to one later in Wins and Fails. But this particular question, a couple of doozies, went towards Macklin Celebrini, and this is how it sounded.
Would you do it again in 4 years?
Would I go back to the Olympics in 4 years?
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
What?
No. That's just dumb. There's another video.
I hope there was context to that question.
I'm sure there was, but there's another question that was levied to Macklin Celebrini, and this is how that sounded.
Macklin, do you have any empathy for the United States having won since 1980, Miracle on Ice? So it's a lot of excitement here in the United States that happened at your expense.
No. I mean, no.
What are we doing here?
I saw a picture of the scrum in San Jose that was taken by one. I think somebody in their front office posted it. That there's usually like 2 or 3 people, but there was like a good 8 or 9 at that scrum. And we saw the first practice back at the Panthers facility that we were there for. There was a lot of people at that one as well.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to force feed these guys these questions. Like I get trying to get good answers out of players, and I think you're gonna kind of poo-poo on me later on for something that I did in the locker room recently, but. I just like this. Isn't he 18 years old still?
Yeah.
He's 19.
19 years old. Thank you.
But yeah.
He's old enough to drink in some countries.
Also,
He's old enough to drink in Italy.
would you want to do the Olympics again is the most ridiculous question to ever ask an Olympian. I don't care if he had a heartbreaking loss in the overtime. Like, these kids have been dreaming of this their entire lives. The kid is 19 years old. He's in the 2nd year of his career. He's going to be the star, or one of the stars, because McDavid and McKinnon will probably still be there in 2030 in the French Alps. He will be one of the stars once again of Team Canada.
Oh, and
He
Connor
will be
Bedard.
and
Connor
Connor
Bedard. Don't forget
Bedard.
about him.
And Matthew Schaefer. We cannot forget about Matthew Schaefer as well. Hopefully Jacob Chikrin will be there as well. But anyway, Sam Reinhart as well. Hopefully he'll get more of a fair shake if Canada goes in a different direction from John Cooper in 2030. But, I mean, to ask the kid who's 19 years old if he wants to play in the Olympics again, and then do you have any empathy for the United States? Like, no, of course not. I just got my heart ripped out. Like, that's the most, it's like asking a guy that just got broken up with, do you have any empathy for your ex? Like, no, I'm good, dude. My heart is out of my chest right now. Like,
Unless he cheated.
pass. unless he cheated.
You know who you asked that question to? You asked it to like Dr. Raygun. Do you ever want to go back to another Olympics again? You asked it to that steer who like I cheated on my girlfriend and
Lindsey
she broke
Vonn.
my heart.
You ask Lindsey Vonn, do you want to go back to the Olympics?
No,
Well, she retired though. So
Can I just go back to the men's and women's team thing real quick, Roy?
Yeah.
I just want to give
be real quick, but go ahead.
I can make it quick. I just want to cut the men's team a little slack. Like I mean, I don't because it was an ugly look for them, of course.
but you are.
But I think that I don't want to make the men the victim here. Inevitably, their actions have them in this situation. But it felt a lot to me like a bunch of guys laughing at a boss's shitty joke. And they've done a really good job. Not a great job, but I think Jeremy Swayman, Charlie McAvoy, Jake Sanderson, some of the guys have done a really nice job of saying, we're sorry, we should have acted better. We shouldn't have done that in that moment, and we apologize looking back at it. But I think I want to shift the focus now to the women and the men and what their achievement was, and Hillary Knight and Taylor Heisey and Megan Keller and so many of the girls on the team, Abby Murphy, have said, we want to focus on what we did, what we accomplished together, and these teams accomplished something amazing together. We should focus on that.
Yeah, have fun at Flavor Flav's party. You guys deserve it, and you guys are going to have fun.
Props to Flav, by the way.
Flav is the best.
That was really cool.
Absolutely.
Like getting everybody to come together, make something happen for the late. That was pretty cool.
It's
Good on you, Flav.
It's going to be much better than eating McDonald's in a shoddy.
No, I heard the women had like fresh pasta with Stanley Tucci. Like you can't beat that.
All right, it's time for the Panthers then. The Panthers won 5-1 against Toronto.
Yes, they did.
It was a complete travesty out on that ice for the Maple Leafs. They did not deserve to win that game, although they were on the tail end of a back-to-back. They lost in Tampa. Now they lost to Florida. Now they get to go back home and face the wrath of Maple Leafs fans. The Panthers will play the Buffalo Sabres tonight, and then they will go on a 4-game road trip starting on the 1st. They play the Islanders, Devils, Blue Jackets, and the Red Wings before returning home. Brad Marchand had 2 goals, 2 assists for Anton Lundell. Sergei Bobrovsky, 28 saves on 29 shots. And your boy, Evan Rodriguez, a goal and an assist, 9 shots on goal, 7 of those shots. In the first period, he had more shots than the Maple Leafs in the first period.
Yeah, and credit to Bob. The only goal that got past him was kicked in by Gus Forsling. Like he was a brick wall yesterday. So good on Bob. Just good to see the Panthers jump out there and do what they did. This has got to be the theme for the rest of the season. Like 24 games to go. They got to do this like 18, 19 times. Like this has got to be Panthers hockey for the rest of the way if they want to really make a run at this. But good on them. I feel bad for Toronto, Roy. And for their captain, Auston Matthews, who's really kind of gone through the shitter a little bit, got really reamed by his hometown paper for being American and being the captain of Team America. But they're home tomorrow for Ottawa.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
Matthews, Brady, like they're all going to be together in Canada. Oh, that could be toxic.
Speaking of the Olympics, a reporter from the Hockey News asked Brad Marchand what he thought about the Olympics and coming back, and this is what happened.
Your mind before the game when we were honoring the Americans and you guys were just kind of watching your teammates.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's you're happy for guys to have success and so it's good kind of celebration for them.
You made him sad.
I felt really bad too. Like after watching it back last night and you guys all kind of giving me shit at the bar for it, but look, Brad Marchand is one of the most professional hockey players that I've been around the last that's the last year. But, he gives great answers. He understands the back and forth that needs to happen between the media and a player. So I felt pretty comfortable in trying to get what his emotions were in that moment, curious to what he would have to say. And then watching it back, like he really looked sad. And I felt really bad about that. Like I didn't want to make him sad. I thought he would just kind of give a good professional answer. Like, yeah, it hurt, but that's hockey, and I'm sad, whatever he might say. But no, dude, I genuinely still feel bad, and I don't like that you're shaming me for it, to be honest.
I mean, he looked completely broken. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It wasn't quite as bad as the Celebrini question or the question we're going to talk about in wins and fails, Dave, but it was not your finest moment. I want to talk about one thing from this game, though, real quick, from the pregame celebration for Team USA. Danny B, we have this picture, if you can throw it up here. look at this look that Bill Zito is giving Auston Matthews.
Is that a wink?
He kind of gave him a little bit of a wink, Roy. And let me tell you, if you're a Maple Leafs fan, if you're a fan of a team that isn't the Florida Panthers, and you notice that Auston Matthews' contract is up in 2 years, and all the noise that's going around in the Toronto media right now after he won a gold medal as the captain of Team USA, boys, 2 years from now, Auston Matthews is a free agent. 2 years from now, that cap is going to keep going up.
2 years from now, Auston
Bill
Matthews
Zito
is going to be 30.
planting the seeds, baby. Planting the seeds.
Do you think that Auston Matthews is going to take less than the $13.25 million that he makes right now to play for the Panthers?
You know, when you bring logic and
All right, I'm just
gonna
cut you off right there.
Auston
You are a
Matthews is
crazy
gonna be a
person.
Florida Panther
It's
in 2 years.
it's time for Puck Luck. It's brought to you by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. David, make some money, please.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. So this week for Puck Luck, only 4 or 5 games tonight. So we're going to tackle the Panthers and the Sabres. We talked a little bit about it. First, we're going to take Sam Bennett over 2.5 shots on goal. Buffalo gives up the 6th most shots in the league, Roy. And they give up 10.5 shots per game to centers. And that is the position that Sam Bennett plays. So Bennett over 2.5 shots. He also had 4 shots in his last game against Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Going to add Carter Verhaeghe over 1.5 shots just to give a little bit of juice to the parlay. He's hit that in 9 of his last 10, and he's averaging 4.4 shots over his past 5 games. Jack Eichel, the Capitals and the Vegas Golden Knights tonight, taking Jack Eichel over 3.5 shots. He's hit that in 4 straight. It's his first game back after the Olympics, so I would imagine he's going to be pretty juiced up. And if you're looking for a side bet, maybe Jack Eichel at plus 200 for an anytime goal. Mm-hmm. Rounding out the parlay in that same game, Alex Ovechkin, anytime point. He hasn't gone 2 straight games without a point since the first 2 games of 2026, Roy. He didn't have a point last night. I think he's going to pick, or not 2 nights ago, rather. I think he's going to pick one up tonight. Vegas just flew cross country after giving up 4 goals to the Kings on Wednesday. So, yeah, I'm taking Ovechkin to get a point. Parlay odds plus 528. Let's make some money tonight.
All right, it's time for Rose in a minute. Actually, she's doing the Spanish version for her. So it's Rosa en un minuto.
All right.
All right, you guys.
I'm not going to do the Spanish. I'm
What?
going to do the English because we
What?
don't have time. So
We
let me
know
give
that's
you...
the whole point.
Okay,
Is
let me give you just the Spanish,
Okay,
and
go
you
ahead.
learn Spanish. Okay. Hola, hijos. Se acabaron las medallas y volvió el caos de la NHL. Florida regresó con una actitud. Marchand metió 2 y los Panthers aplastaron 5-1 a Toronto. Sí, celebrando celebración olímpica y luego goles en la cara. Boston también volvió fino a Adversaries 2 goles. Islanders ganaron en overtime con Pregao. Detroit con Larkin heroico en OT. Y Pittsburgh sin Crosby pero ganando igual. Carolina sigue en modo tormenta. 11 juegos seguidos con puntos después de ganarle 5-4 a Tampa. Minnesota no perdió el ritmo olímpico. Matt Boldy 2 goles y 2 asistencias. St. Louis tuvo hat-tricks de Holloway. Calgary ganó con doble de Kadri y atención, Edmonton destruyó 8-1 a los Kings. McDavid 6 puntos otra vez. En Los Ángeles estaban gritando Fire Jim Healer. Sí, volvió a la NHL con violencia emocional. Esto fue un minuto de hockey con Rose, porque las Olimpiadas fueron elegantes, pero la liga volvió sin piedad.
All right, it's time for Rose in a minute. Rosie, go ahead.
Oh my God!
I
Okay,
heard fire Jim Hiller.
please.
Fire Jim Hiller. Oh, wow.
Hey, this 1 minute of hockey with Rose, post-Olympic return. Hey, kids, the medals are over and the NHL chaos is back. Florida came back with attitude. Marchand scored 2 and the Panthers crushed Toronto 5-1. Yes, Olympic celebration and then goals to the face. Boston already came back sharp. Adventure with 2 goals. The Islanders winning in overtime with Pregao. Detroit getting the heroic OT moment from Larkin. And Pittsburgh winning even without Crosby. Carolina stays in the story mode. 11 straight games with points after beating Tampa 5-4. Minnesota didn't lose its Olympic rhythm. Matt Boldy 2 goals, 2 assists. St. Louis had a Holloway hat trick. Calgary won behind Kadri double. And attention, Edmonton destroyed the Kings 8-1. McDavid hit 100 points again. In Los Angeles, they were chanting Fire Healer. Yes, the NHL is back with emotional violence. This was 1 minute of hockey with Rose because the Olympics were elegant, but the league came back merciless.
She's got her shit down, man. That was good, Rose. You got
Right?
some good information in there.
Thank you.
Very quickly
Really
as
good.
well. Very good job. Very good
God.
job there, Rosie. It's time for wins and fails. David, what you win?
My win of the week, we've got a new goalie celebration, and it is spectacular. Let's see. Do we have the video, guys? Happened. There we go.
Oh,
Thank
he's
you very much.
sitting on top of the net.
He's sitting on top. First of all, this is the North Carolina State hockey team. I don't know how he got his goalie ass on top of the net like that. That's hard. That's 4 feet in the air. You're wearing all that gear. So I don't know how he got himself up there. But then he used his stick and he reeled in his team as they came to the net to celebrate the win that he just gave to them. That might be my new favorite goalie celebration of all time. It's better than the Askarov bench pressing the net. I love it. I love it. I love it.
All right, my winner of the week comes from the Olympics and the gold medal game. The United States men's hockey team played in memory of Johnny Gaudreau. As you know, we tragically lost him and his brother Matthew in a car accident while they were riding their bikes. And they managed to make it. They managed to win the gold medal. And the team, not only did they do a victory lap around the ice with Johnny's jersey, they also brought Johnny's children out onto the ice. And in the team photo, the United States ended up taking a picture with Johnny's children. And that is clutch. That is very emotional. And I'm actually getting choked up thinking about it right now. I mean, that is absolutely clutch.
Yeah.
So the children are in the team photo, and that is going to last forever. That is an awesome thing to see. Good job by the United States men. And Ethan, what is your win?
My win of the week, guys, goes to Alexander Barkov. This week, he spent some time at Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital, and he's just the best. He cemented himself once again as a South Florida legend, as Zaz talked about on the show this week, making a 7-figure donation to the Barkov Sports Medicine Program. He was up there crying at the podium. It was just a beautiful moment, and he just continues to be the absolute best and cement himself as such. So shout out to Alexander Barkov, my win of the week.
Woo!
Rosie, what is your win of the week?
My win of the week comes from yesterday's game. I don't know if it was yesterday's games actually, but play the clip. E, you're gonna see.
That is from yesterday's game.
Okay, I think it was beautiful. That fall and everything was cinematic. So yeah, that's how you do it.
It would be even more cinematic if the goal counted. That goal was offside, and they.
It wasn't offside. It was just Matthew Tkachuk didn't leave his foot on the ice long enough. It wasn't. The offside was like a silly offside, but I love the fact that the hockey world is still playing that video for us, even though it was on a play that didn't count.
All right, David, what's your fail?
Other than that play by the Maple Leafs, my fail is poor Connor McDavid. I have a little sympathy for Connor McDavid. He got asked the pretty bad question, as we talked about it. So let's play that first, and then we'll talk about it.
This is a hard question, but, Stanley Cups found Gretzky and Crosby and those guys and gold medals, and you've put yourself in position, and it's not finding you. Did you think it would be this hard?
That's a nice question. Thank you.
That's a dumb question.
Credit to McDavid. He actually went on to give a really good answer because he's McDavid, McJesus. He's good at everything he does, I guess, other than eating ketchup.
And winning.
Well, he hasn't been, other than winning. He hasn't won.
Won a lot of MVPs. But he's starting to make me like, when this got played for me the other day, the first name that popped into my head, and I hate to say this, was Dan Marino.
Yeah.
But Marino only played in one Super Bowl.
2 Stanley Cup finals for Connor McDavid.
Back to back, and he's still young.
Yeah.
So McDavid's going to get asked these questions his whole career. Like, yeah, you're the best. You get paid like the best, but are you on the best team? And he's going to have to start to evaluate, I think, like, do I want to continue to demand that big of a chunk of a salary cap on a team sport where I keep getting asked these questions about not winning? Yeah. So I feel like there's going to be some existential inner workings. He's going to have to figure that shit out because I'm sure he doesn't want to live dealing with this and hearing these questions for the rest of his career.
The always the bridesmaid joke has not just landed on top of Leon Draisaitl, it has also landed on said Connor McDavid, as he was named MVP of the Olympic tournament by the International Ice Hockey Federation. Obviously, it's kind of hellebuck. I mean, what are we doing here? He should have been MVP. He was the best goaltender in the entire tournament. But anyway, McDavid, of course, earned the silver medal. It's the second time that he's won an MVP trophy, and his team did not win said championship. He probably leads the league in that. But not only that, he earned 0 points in the gold medal game. Now, let's push aside the 4 nations, all right? The last 3 winner-take-all games that Connor McDavid has been in, and Sports and The Score ended up posting this tweet before deleting it. I don't know why they did that, but anyway. So the last 3 games. Let's start with 2024, Game 7, 0 points in the previous Stanley Cup Final. The last season Stanley Cup Final, 0 points in Game 6. And in the gold medal game, no points in that game as well. So, yeah, it's been kind of a rough past 3 seasons for Connor McDavid.
In
Ethan,
all
what
3
is your
of those
fail?
games, by the way, his team scored exactly 1 goal.
Okay. Ethan, quickly, what is your film?
Really quick, Nathan McKinnon, this quote was very loser blood. You be the judge of who was the better team today after losing the gold medal match to the United States. Nathan McKinnon played a huge part in giving up the gold to the U.S. And then John Cooper just being a loser as well, talking about 3-on-3. Bad loser blood from Team Canada after losing to Team USA.
All right, for those of you watching on DraftKings Network, please check out the YouTube page because coming up next is our guest. It's Jonathan Zaslow from Zaslow Show 2.0. That's coming up.